We'll see how it goes. Okay, we're going to learn completing the square. And what completing the square does is it converts standard form to vertex form. So that's the key thing that you need to understand. It converts from standard form to vertex form. So we start with something that looks like this, and it turns into this. Okay, so we start with this, we end with that. We notice three things. The y's are the same, that's easy. The a's are the same, that's going to be really helpful. And that there are x's in both of them. The issue is that here there are two x's, and these two x's need to be combined into one x. So we need to combine the x's to create that form. And we do that by completing the square. So here we have just an x squared with the x outside of it. Here we have the x inside the brackets with the square outside. This is called a complete square. This is an incomplete square. So we need to take this expression and turn it into something like that. And here's the example. Alright, so let's say y equals negative 2x squared plus 4x minus 7. This isn't a really tough one, and I think you'll be able to see it. So if we take a look at this and compare it to that, what do we notice about the a over here that's different than the a over here?
It's by itself.
It's by itself. So your first step is to get this a by itself.
Negative 2.
Exactly. So you want to take that negative 2 and we want to put it by itself. But if we look here, what do we notice about this number at the end? It's still just a number at the end, right?
Yeah.
So this is what we're going to do. The first thing to do is to take out the negative 2, but only from
Those two.
the first two. We leave the negative 7 at the end. So we take the negative 2 out of here, and we get x squared. So we have negative 2x squared divided by negative 2 gives me x squared. And 4x divided by negative 2 gives me
Minus 2x.
minus 2x.
Yes!
Okay? Now I'm going to leave a gap here for a good reason. Right, so I leave a gap to start off with. I leave the gap here because this is an incomplete square. X squared minus 2x is incomplete. Because I need to, on my next step, write down a complete square. In other words, x minus or plus what will give me x squared minus 2x plus something else. This is where the patterns come in from before. So I have x, I need to fill something in here. Alright, to make this a complete square, then I have to change something here in order to make this step actually equal this step. So it's about filling in the gap. Now, if I want this question, or this line, to look the same as this line, what's the only thing that I can add here in order to make this line the same as that line?
Minus 7.
No, because there's a minus 7 there already.
Overall.
Alright, the only thing I can add is nothing.
Plus 0. This
This here has to be equal to nothing. Because otherwise this line and this line will be different.
Oh, plus 2x.
Alright? You're not supposed to be saying anything.
Sorry.
Alright? So this line and this line are totally equal right now. In this gap I have to fill in nothing so that this line will equal this line here. And that's the trick to the whole thing. So let's take a look at this here. If I want x squared minus 2x, so this is our thinking thing over here, we're going to think. I have this. I want something like this to look like something like this. What do I have to fill in here in order to get a minus 2x?
Minus 1.
Pardon?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. if I take a look at this, I have x minus 1 times x minus 1 equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. Hey, this is an incomplete square. This is a complete square. What completes the incomplete square? A plus 1. So over here, if I put a minus 1 here, for this line to be the same as that line, I would have a plus 1 here. But I have to have this thing equal 0. So what I have to do to make this plus 1 go away is I have to put a minus 1. Alright? So now this line is totally equal to this line, and because I have this plus 1 here, I can make this line equal to this line. This is the key. Time for some blue. This piece is exactly equal to this piece. I needed this plus 1 here in order to make this true. But what can I do with this minus 1 over here? I can join it with the minus 7 there to get my number at the end. Because notice, this C is different than this Q. Because this minus 1, which doesn't help me with this square at all, needs to be joined to this 7. So what I have here is I have negative 2 times this piece here, which is this piece here. And then I have negative 2 times negative 1, which is what?
Negative, just 2.
Yep. Right, so I do this to show the extra step, a minus 1. And then on my last step, I have y equals negative 2x minus 1 squared plus 2 minus 7, which is y equals negative 2x minus 1 squared minus 5. And now you've taken this and turned it into that. And that's completing the square. That's it.